Hi, we're going to be talking about marginal analysis today, and we're going to be doing a problem on the board so you can basically stop and start the video, look at the video, see as you go through the video to learn different concepts, how to complete the problem, and do a problem on your own. We'll do probably 2 or 3 in class, and I want you to get an idea of what the process is and what you need to look for and what you need to do. There are going to be definitions, there's going to be formulas that will be on the PowerPoints that I give you and on other videos that I give you, but we're going to be doing marginal analysis. In marginal analysis, we basically use to determine, are we going to keep doing something? Are we going to hire somebody? Are we going to maybe create or add a new ATM? Are we going to add a new teller in the teller line? Are we going to do a new, drive-through teller? At Pizza Hut, I was manager at a Pizza Hut for 5 years, and we tried to determine how late we should stay open on Friday and Saturday. Should it be 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning, or midnight? At the bank, I used it for the teller line, for the outside drive-through, and for how many tellers that we should add. And then you could also use marginal analysis to determine whether you want to add another movie theater, whether you want to add anything. In your life, you use marginal analysis and you don't know it. You look at, you've studied been 3 hours, and should you study another extra half an hour? So you look at the marginal benefits and the marginal costs, and you determine whether you do that. If you are at the mall and you've been there for like 4 hours, do you stay there another hour with your friends, or do you go home? So you kind of do it in your head. So we look at marginal revenue, marginal cost, same thing in marginal benefits, marginal cost. And then we have concepts like break-even point, where is that? And then we have profit maximization. So this is a whole problem that we're going to be calculating total cost, variable cost, we're going to do a marginal product, and we're going to be doing all of these things. So I've got the problem started on the board, and I'm going to go through each part of it and go through the end, and hopefully the numbers all line up. You probably should use lined paper. You should have your paper that is landscape, not portrait, and you should have basically like 11 columns, 11 rows. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the marginal analysis problem that's on the board, and I'm going to go through each part. So roughly what we've got here is workers. Right now I've got worker as this first column, and it starts at worker 0 before you even start working. This is like for startup, for beginnings. So you have worker 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you have workers there. Now each worker produces product. So they're producing something. So worker 0 obviously is not a worker, so it produced 0. Worker number 1 produces 7 units. 2 workers together, they produce 20. 3 workers, 38. 4, 52. 5, 90. 6, 110. 7, 129. 8, 138. 9, 144. 10, 148. Now these total product I'm going to give to you, just like I give you the number of workers, I'm going to give you the total product that's made. Now the next column is marginal product, and basically you get it by subtracting. So the first one I put undefined, worker 0 minus worker 0 is 0, so it's really undefined. But 7 minus 0 equals 7. And then you go down and you look at 20 minus 7, that comes to 13. 38 minus 20, 18. And then you're going to do this all the way down, and you're going to have the next one is 24. Then after that, you're going to have 28. So 90 minus 52 is 28. And then 110 minus 90, that equals 30. No, I'm sorry, 20. So that is 20, sorry about that. Then you have 19, then you have 9, 138 minus 129, then you have 6, and then you have 4. So you're just subtracting, and you're trying to find out what does the extra worker produce. So one worker makes 7, the second worker adds 13, the third worker adds 18, the fourth worker adds 24, and so on. The next column is fixed costs. The fixed costs don't change no matter what the output, so all the way down, in this case, it's $50. So for every worker, worker 0, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Please do not put ditto points or leave it blank or a line because we're adding down and we're adding across. So make sure you have 50 all the way through. The next is variable costs. Now what we're going to do in this is every worker is going to be $90. So we're going to add 90 all the way down. You can also multiply 90 times the number of worker to get the same result. If you changed your price of your worker like halfway through, like your worker number 6, instead of 90 they're 100, you can do that. But in this case we're adding 90 all the way through. So we're going to do this: 270, 360, 450, 540, 630, 720, 810, 900. So I added 90 all the way down. So 90, 180, 270, 360, 450, 540, 630, 720, 810, 900. So you've got your fixed cost and your variable cost. Now the next column is your total. So fixed plus variable equals total. So this is you're adding all the way down. You're adding what your costs are. So 50 plus 0 equals 50. 90 plus 50 is 140. And then 50 plus 180, 230. And you add all the way down. So sorry about the math problem, but I had to go through. So 50 plus 0 is 50. Then 50 plus 90 is 140. 50 plus 180 is 230. 50 plus 270 is 320. 50 plus 360 is 410. 50 plus 450 is 500. 50 plus 540 is 590. 50 plus 630 is 680. 50 plus 720 is 770. 50 plus 180 is 860, and then 50 plus 900 is 950, so that's fixed cost. Now we're looking at marginal cost, and we're doing marginal cost the same way we did marginal product. So, but instead of looking at the total product column, we're looking at the total cost column, and we're trying to find out what is the extra worker, what's that extra cost when you add an extra worker. So the first one basically is undefined because we don't know what it was there before, but now we're going to subtract 140 minus 50. And that's 90. 230 minus 140 is 90. They're all 90 because here in every column we added 90 all the way through. So the marginal cost is 90. It's the extra cost from adding an extra worker. So when we added an extra worker, we added $90. So it is 90 all the way down. Now we're going to go ahead and try to find the marginal cost per marginal product. So it says MC over MP. You're going to divide 90 divided by 7, 90 divided by 13, 90 divided by 18, and so on. So I just did the marginal cost over marginal product. Like I said, 90 over 7, 13, 90 over 13, 692, 90 divided by 18, 5, 90 divided by 24, 3.75, and did that all the way down. So now we've got total revenue, marginal revenue, and profit. So the first thing I need is the marginal revenue, and then we're going to take the marginal revenue, multiply it by the quantity, and then we'll get our total revenue, and then we'll get our profit. So let's do, in our marginal revenue, in this case, is 15. So marginal revenue, 15, all the way down. Marginal revenue is the price of the product. So when you add a new product, basically add a new product, like say this was the Sharpies, this one is 15. If I make another one of these, that's also 15, then another one is 15. So the marginal revenue is always the price of the product in this case, and it's 15, and it goes all the way down. Now to get the total revenue, you take the marginal product or the price times the quantity. Total product is also the quantity. So I'm going to take this column and multiply it by the marginal revenue. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to start off at the beginning, and it is 0 because there's no products done. Then we're going to do, here is 105. Then we're going to do 300, 570. So I've multiplied the marginal revenue column, I've multiplied 15 times 7, and then 15 times 20, and then 15 times 38, and 15 times 52, and went all the way down and got these total revenues. Now the next part is I'm trying to figure out my profit, and with my profit we're looking at total revenue minus total cost. We will have some negatives, but it's total revenue first minus total costs, and I'm going to go ahead and calculate that out and give that to you so you'll get that for each one. So I took basically the total revenue column minus the total cost. So 0 minus 50 gives us negative 50. Then I have 105 minus 140 gives us negative 35. 300 minus 230, that gives us 70. 570 minus 320 gives us 250. 930 minus 410 gives us the 520, and then 1350 minus 500 is 850. Then you have 1650 minus 950 gives us 1060, all the way down at the bottom. So there we've got. Now when we look at this, we look at profits. In this case, there is no break-even point in this problem. There is no spot where total revenue equals total cost, or there is no spot where there is a 0 here. So right now there's no break-even point. There's a couple spots they made negative. Now we're looking at, is there any point where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, where the profit maximization? So in this case, we're looking at this column. Is there any case where 15 equals 15? So here is marginal revenue. Here is our marginal cost. So we're looking for a spot of where marginal revenue equals marginal cost, where they're in the same unit, so per unit, so marginal cost per unit, and then marginal revenue per unit. So we're looking at where does 15 equal 15. So we are doing worker number 9. This is the place of profit maximization. This is the number of workers we should hire. Now notice that we have 1,300 and 1,300 in profit. There's one spot where there's 2, where there's 1,300 and 1,300. We would not go stay here because look, 15 is greater than 10. So if 15 is greater than 10, we add that worker and move on. So profit maximization is where 15 equals 15. Break-even point, remember, there is none in this case. It's where total revenue equals total cost. Profit maximization is where the marginal revenue equals marginal cost. They have to be in the same units. In this case, it's per product, so it's marginal cost over marginal product equals our marginal revenue. So this is the end of the marginal analysis problem. It's all the way through, so I'm going to have this screen look at that. We've completed all of the different parts to it, so I'm going to give in class, say 2 or 3 problems. They might be done in homework, they might be done in class. You can use your notes, you can look at these things for, you can get flashcards, you can write on them what is the formula for total cost, what's the formula for total revenue, what is the break-even point. Make sure you have those. I'll give them in class and plus in another video. And this is how it's a marginal analysis problem, and I hope it helped. And if you have any questions, please ask in class and post after the video.